everyone, so welcome you all to Ashok Tutorials, Meghalaya's first MTech channel. So today we are going to study health education, alright? Health education, Unit 2, Chapter 1, alright? So let's see what we have. So as you know, the name of the unit is diseases. So that's why whatever the chapter we are dealing with in this unit will be of diseases, alright? So let's see what we have. So if we go down, so today we are going to study chapter 1. Introduction we have seen already last time, right? So I hope that all of you, before watching this video, you should go and watch the introduction of Unit 2, right? Let's see now what we have. Alright, so let me take one color here for you. You like red color, right? Alright, if you like red color, I'll take red color. So the name of the chapter is some defense measures against diseases. So here we are going to study mostly about immunity and immunization. Two things we are going to study, alright? Immunity and immunization, alright? So here let us first try to understand what do we mean by immunity. So the word immunity means resistance, alright? It means what? It means resistance. To resistance to anything is known as what? Is known as immunization. I mean, it's known as immunity, alright? Immunity means the resistance to a disease, right? Let's see. The human body has many natural defense against the entry of disease producing germs. So as we know that as human beings, we have different mechanisms, you know, we have different type of antibodies or different type of, you know, white blood corpuscles or, leukocytes and all in our body, which fights against the foreign particles or the foreign microorganisms, which you will be studying as we talk more and more on this chapter, right? So first of all, we know that, see, why they have said that the human body has many natural defenses against the entry of disease producing germs is that because, you know, when you get cough and cold, do we seriously need to take medicines? We don't have to take medicines all the time, right? Sometimes the cough and cold, it used to get all right by itself, right? So how does it happen? So it happens because there are certain defense mechanism in our body, right, which fights against this type of diseases, all right? So that is how it is cured. So let us see. They are physical barriers like skin, lymphoid tissue, tears, saliva, nasal secretion, and digestive juice, etc. All right. So what did they say? They said that there are physical barriers like what? Like the skin, right? Like the skin, then lymphoid tissue, then tears, then saliva, then nasal secretions, and digestive juices. So what do you understand by physical barriers? Physical barriers means the barriers which will protect our body in fighting against the different types of diseases, all right? Then as you can see, skin. So our skin, see, all of us, we have skin everywhere, right? Skin is the largest organ as we know. So skin is protecting us from different type of weathers, right? In cold, it is protecting us. In heat, it is protecting us by sweating. And then in autumn, again, it is protecting us. In winter, again, it is protecting us. During rainy season also, it is protecting us. So whatever the weather is, our skin is trying to protect us, right? Then lymphoid system. Lymphoid systems are the systems in which bone marrow comes in, you know, then small tube like vessels. So all these things come into lymphoid system of the body. Then again, tears. See, now what happens? Tears. So suppose something, as you're riding a scooty, something enters into your eyes and you cannot open your eyes, and what happens? What comes out? The tears comes out, right? So why is the tear coming out? The tear is coming out so that whatever particle or insect has entered your eyes, it will come out along with the tears. That's why tears comes out of your eyes, right? So similarly, what happens, this is another side. So what happens is that whenever you are having problems or struggles or like fights or anything, ups and downs, and something not going good into your life, then what happens is that you cry, right? So why do you cry? So that tears, what happens to that tears is that the tears which comes out from your eyes has got a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, right? So when you cry, you feel good. Do you feel good? Yes, you do, right? So when we cry, when we have certain type of problems, we feel good. So that is one way of coming out of the problems, right? So that is another story. Now again, it says about saliva. So what do we have in our mouth? We have the saliva. The liquid in our mouth is known as saliva, right? Then that liquid also helps us in digestion of food, right? In digestion of food, if something enters into our mouth, then we spit it out, right? Then nasal secretion. Nasal secretion means nose. Whenever you are having cough and cold, your nostrils are blocked, right? And your nasal cavities, the nostrils have got what? It has got fine small hairs, right? It has got small hairs. Now why is there hair? The hair is there in order to protect the germs or dust not getting into your body. Now during COVID-19, what happened was that we were putting what? The mask, right? We were putting the mask. Why? So that the disease do not transfer from one person to another. So what happens is that when you cough, when you sneeze, the disease is transferred from one person to another. That is another story. But then again, see, when the vehicle goes by and you're walking, what do? You cover your mouth. Why? So that the dust do not enter into your nostrils, into your nose. And if that dust is entering into your body through your nostrils, then what happens? The microorganisms also enter along with the dust, and then what happens? You get the disease, the runny nose, the sore throat, right? So those things happen to you. Then we have digestive juices. So we know that we have our stomach, this side, right? On the left side we have our stomach. So our stomach secretes the digestive juices along with hydrochloric acid, right? So these juices or these acids, whatever the food we are eating, suppose the food is contaminated by microorganisms, bacteria, if we are eating it, it goes into our stomach, right? It goes into our stomach. Then what happens? These gastric juices or digestive juices along with hydrochloric acids, they kill the microorganisms in our body, right? They kill the microorganisms. Then they kill the microorganisms, and we are protected from different type of diseases. Now all points of entry of disease causing germs are well guarded. So all the entry points through which the germs can enter are well guarded by our natural system, natural being, natural physiology, right? Now let us see. We have here, how does the defense mechanism work? So how does our defense system work? So let us see. When disease producing germs enter the body sets up its own defense. So when a disease producing bacteria or a virus, it enters our body through water, through food, or through nostrils, then the body it sets up in its own defense mechanism. As you know, suppose there is war going on between Russia and Ukraine, right? Israel and Palestine. So what happens? They are sending their armies. Who are they sending? They are sending their armies to fight for the nation, right? So likewise, in our body we have got different type of armies. Our body itself have got different type of armies. So those armies, we will see who are those armies. All right, then antibodies are produced in the body to kill these germs, and the dead germs are swallowed by WBC. Now you see this line is very important, so you have to mark it. So what is this army? The antibodies. What is that? The antibodies. Remember this. The antibodies are produced in the body See, antibodies are produced in the body whenever there is an attack. Attack means what? Attack? Right. Excuse me. Attack means the type. Suppose some microorganisms has entered your body, right? So the body will come to know, oh, somebody is trying to attack the system of the body, the cells they are trying to attack. So the antibodies are released. And why are antibodies released? The antibodies are released in order to kill those microorganisms, right? And you know what happens? These antibodies, they kill the microorganisms, and dead germs are swallowed by whom? It is swallowed by the WBC, that is white blood cells. Right, now you see here, this is your white blood corpuscles. Antibody will kill the germs and microorganism will, antibody will kill the germ and WBC will eat up the dead bodies of those germs, right? Now, the main function of WBC, see, white blood cells, there are three names, alright, three names are there. White blood cells are also known as white blood corpuscles, and it is also known as leukocytes. What is that? Leukocytes. So WBC is known as white blood corpuscles or leukocytes or white blood cells, right? Then we know that the main function of WBC in the blood is to help defend the body against a sudden attack of germs. So whenever you get disease, you know, what do the doctor do? They try to check your immunity. They try to check your WBC, whether you have enough number of WBC in your body or not, whether you have enough number of white blood corpuscles into your body or not. Why? Because these microorganisms, these WBCs will fight against the microorganisms, right? Then what happens? Let us go down and see. Alright, for this purpose, the leukocytes change their shape, leave the blood vessels and go into the tissues. They are then called phagocytes. See, now they have given another meaning. So they say that now in order to kill the germs, what happens? The WBC will change its shape. So the shape of WBC is not defined, right? It can be of any shape. Then it changes the shape, it leaves the blood and it goes, blood vessels, and it goes into the tissues. And in the tissues, these WBCs are known as phagocytes. What are they known as? They are known as phagocytes. Now what do you mean by the word phagocytes? So phagocyte is a Greek word, right? It is derived from a Greek word. So phagein means to eat and cytes means cells. So these phagocytes, they eat the dead body, right? As you know, they will eat up the dead bodies. They then engulf the invading germs and block their spread to other organs of the body. So these WBC is basically the defense system. They will fight, right? They are the defense system of the body. The infection is thus sealed off. So what happens? They, our body is capable of, recovering itself. So it tries to recover by itself. But if you have less amount of immunity in your body, if you're not healthy enough, then only these germs will attack your body seriously and you have to take up with the medication, right? So this is what happens. So one example is given here. Let's say, for example, during an invasion of the appendix by the germs, the leukocytes increases in number and immediately send an army to the place of attack and thus seal off the infection. So you know what is an appendix, right? So appendix is the extension of the large intestine which lies between the large intestine and the small intestine. Do you want to see that? If you want to see it, let me show you. Here it is. So you want to see appendix. So how does appendix look like? If you want to see, I will show you. Wait. Alright, so see here, look here. This is the large intestine and these are the small intestine. So this part is called the appendix. But this picture is not that good, right? Let me see if I can get another. This one is better, I think. So you can see, wait, there. Yes, So as you can see, this part is called the appendix, this part is called the appendix. All right, so now let us see, let us continue further. How are antibodies formed? Now we have to understand, like, how are the antibodies formed. So let's see, the production of antibodies is one of the most important defenses. Germs contain certain chemical substances. What do the germs contain? They contain these certain chemical substances, and these chemical substances which is present in the germs are known as antigen. This is very important, remember this. So what is antigen? Antigen are the chemical substances present where it is present in the body of the germs. All right, and these antigen, when they get into our body, the antibodies are released by our body. All right, when antigen enters human body, then human body in response, they produces the antibody. Right, they make the body produce their substances called antibodies. See, this is what I said just now, which protect us from diseases. These antibodies attack the germs and neutralize them. So see, there is a fight. This is what, this is the antigen and this is the antibody. So when antigen enters the body and antibodies are produced, and they fight together, and then the diseases collapsed. Right, the diseases are eradicated. So now you see, the production of these antibodies depends upon the state of health of the body, mainly on the nutritional status. The protective foods, namely the proteins and vitamins, control the ability of the body to produce antibodies. Now see, now some of us are healthy, right? Some of us are sickly, some of us are not healthy, some of us are very healthy. Why? What is the reason? The reason is very simple. The reason is that we do not eat good and healthy food. We do not eat a balanced diet. We do not include salads. We do not include vitamins, minerals, nutrients, nutritive diets, proteins into our, the diet which we consume. So in order to stay healthy, in order to have a good immunity, you should have enough of proteins and vitamins. Especially as we have seen during COVID-19, vitamin C was recommended very much, right, in order to fight against certain type of viruses. Right, let us see what we have next. So a person who is in poor health, undernourished, in fatigue, and where severely physical and mental strain cannot fight germs effectively. This will lower the resistance to infection. The lack of resistance to disease is called susceptibility. Now see, they have said that some of the people, they do not eat a balanced diet, they are undernourished, they are fatigued, they are sickly, they are thin, they are not healthy. So this type of people, whenever there is a breakdown of disease or whenever an infection is there in your body, these people are affected very badly. Right, so in order to keep a healthy life, see, this next topic is immunity. I'll make in part 2 of this video. Right, this is part 1. Part 2 will have the immunity part. All right, now here I will end up in this, before, this is the only introduction I will be taking, right, about antibodies and antigen for today. So let's see, the lack of resistance to a disease is called susceptibility. Now what is susceptibility? Susceptibility means the lack of resistance, which means if I say John is susceptible to a disease, means John is likely to get the disease. If I say John is susceptible to disease as compared to Jack, which means John have high chances of getting the disease as compared to Jack. So this is what I mean by being, susceptible, or the susceptible nature of that. Then as you have seen that, this one plays a very important role. What is that? The immune system plays a very important role, and basically the white blood cells or WBC of your body. So you have to have a very good amount of WBCs, white blood cells, into your body. And how can you do that? By eating good food, balanced diet including vitamins, minerals into your diet, fruits, dry fruits. So all this you have to consume, the protein you have to consume. Right, so the next part will be the part 2, where I will be discussing about the immunity. All right, so I think this is all in this part. So thank you everyone for staying connected with Ashok, tutorials. Thank you everyone. Thank you.